Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, why don't you go ahead and do that? Put the notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate the support. I'm very humbled, man. LA is on fire, right? Again, right? This time it's different. This time it's not a laughing matter. This time is real. You know, I've been asked all weekend for my perspective on this. And, you know, it's kind of a no-win situation. You know, it's kind of, are you going to be a Tío Tomás? Are you going to be, what are you going to be? What are you going to be? You're getting what you asked for type thing, right? Here's my situation. Here's how I feel. Here's my perspective on it. What started out as a friendly protest, as people who were standing on their tent about what they truly believe. Regardless if you believe one way or the other, when you stand on what you believe, you can't, it's not a bad thing. Now, I've never agreed with protesting and things like that. In prison, yes. In prison, yes, we did protesting. Sometimes there was sit downs. Sometimes there was, people did hunger strikes. They helped. They worked. You stood in solidarity and unity for things that you believed in, and you got things accomplished. You set goals, and things happen. But if you had a whole bunch of prisoners rioting, if you had a whole bunch of prisoners stabbing each other, nothing would get handled. The only way is to stick together and to use common sense and to use a force, a show of force, but not a show of force. See, when you start to riot, when you start to throw rocks at police cars and immigration cars, when you start to go head up with the police, now it's become something more worse than what it started out as. You know, when these protests started a few days ago, you know, people were telling me, hey, Gun, did you hear about what's going on in LA? And it's not only LA, it's all over. But the majority of the focus and the attention is on Los Angeles, because that's where a lot of the raza are, in that area, Southern California, right? And, you know, they did protests in San Jose. I showed you. They weren't a large scale one like this one that's still going down, that's continuing after 3 days. And at first I was like, you know, if these people want to go out there and take the time out of their day to fight for something they believe in, to, you know, stand their ground, like I said, on a picket line and wave their flags and wave their signs, hey, more power to them. Ain't nothing wrong with that. When it starts to become violent and gets out of hand, which I know it will, I knew it would, because there's people that are antagonizing the situation. There's people that are there they don't even know what the hell's going on and what the fight's for. They don't understand, you know, why people are out there in that hot ass sun, taking their time away from work, you know, keeping their children out of school, doing what they're doing. And what's the whole reasoning behind it? Now, it all starts with the ICE raids, right? People are fed up and frustrated that families are being torn apart, that, you know, the paisas, the Mexicano nationals, are being rounded up at a large number and on a large scale, right? And deported. I get it, man. I've seen it firsthand. I've had a family affected by it already. It's really happening. You know, it's really happening. And I see that the president's getting a lot of blame for it. You know, it's kind of one of those things, man. You voted for it. We all voted for it, right? This man won the majority. He's standing on his ground just like you have to stand on yours, right? He said what he was going to do in the beginning. Now, I had to explain this to a family member yesterday. Oh, it seems like only the Mexicans are being targeted. It seems like only the Mexicans are being targeted. Well, of course, it looks that way. We live on the West Coast. We border Mexico, and then Canada's up top. So, of course, the majority of the guys that you're going to see being rounded up look like Mexicanos, because that's the country that we border. But if you go to the East Coast, they're snatching up Dominicans and Haitians and Venezuelans and all these different people that have migrated that way, you know, whether they're illegal or not. Now, here's my thing. Okay. When you do a crime, you do the time. There's a lot of people that voted and they were tired of crime. They were tired of drugs. They were tired of all kinds of weird shit happening in their community where their kids can't even play. A lot of people were just tired and fed up and wanted something different. And we're hoping that this administration would change and maybe some of these deportations would help their community. They're not going to tell you that, but that's the truth. There was a lot of Mexican American people, Black Americans, whites, white Americans. We'll just give them, because there's Irish and there's all kinds of different shit too, right? We're going to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. There was a lot of people that voted. And a lot of the people voted on two things. One, they wanted a better economy, which if they were smart enough, they would understand that doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually. And in this day and age where we live, I don't never see anything going down. Shit just continues to go up. That's the progression of life, right? Shit goes up, your pay goes up, the bills go up. Everything's going up. I don't see nothing going back down. And it's not, and there's not a president in the world or anyone that could do that. It just is what it fucking is, man. Shit just becomes more expensive every day, daily. It compounds daily. And another thing was they voted because they wanted, the deportation was becoming a big issue. There's a lot of people that don't like going out working hard and seeing others benefit from it. I am not one of those people. Okay. I believe if a person comes over here for the right reasons, I don't give a fuck if they come illegally or legally. I'm not the cop. I'm the robber. Okay. I've always been the robber. I'm trying not to do that necessarily as much anymore, but I'm not going to sit there and be fucking Sheriff McGee and go run around and tell people who can and cannot come into this country. I'm just a visitor here. I just live here. This is not my country. When people say this is our country, this is my country. This ain't yours. Motherfucker, this ain't yours. We're just born here. We're just renting. We're just chilling. Just like when we're in the barrio, that ain't our barrio. We're just posted up in that motherfucker maintaining. That's it. So none of this land belongs to anyone but God, homie. None of this. We're just visitors here. This is just a assimilation. We're just here to live, and hopefully you can live as comfortably as possible and you do the right things and the right shit will happen. So to me, I understand that there's laws of land. Okay, no matter where you go. And I'm about to break it down right now. People are like, whoa, gun, what the fuck's going on here? I'm just being real. In the land of California, the United States, anywhere, there's borderlines. They were drawn by man, not by God, by man, right? Through the evolution of man, there's always been territories, and this is us, and we're taking this. It's always been taken, never been given. Nothing's freely given. Everything's been taken, whether it be by war, by riots, by hypocrisy, by whatever, by scam. Everything is always taken. Even when you buy land, oh, I bought it. I own this house. This is my shit. Yeah, we'll pay taxes every year on it. You know what I'm saying? You'll see. You don't own shit. We don't own shit. It's the way it's set up, right? So when these borderlines are drawn, right, which were never supposed to be there, but man created this. Who are we as men to tell a person who can and cannot come over here or come over there? Now, being American, born in America, Mexican American, right? It's a thin line to say the Mexicanos or anybody who crossed over shouldn't be given the opportunity to work hard and to take care of their families and need to be being harassed and snatched up because somebody that doesn't know them thinks they might be doing crime. It's fucked up. But at the same time, you also got to understand with the fruits of your labor, with the good opportunity, with the freedoms that you're given, with everything, there's also a fucking bill to pay. There's a ticket. Someone's going to get their ticket, right? And it's like this. When votos are in Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, Central America, wherever they're at, and they're saying, man, it's rough around here. You got to think about those governments that make it rough for their people, that their people want to leave. They decided, you know what, we got to go. We got to make a better opportunity in life for our family here. This ain't it. This is not it, man. Our government doesn't care about us. We're poverty stricken. Let's go to America because in America, you get a lot of opportunity. You think, right? On the surface, it looks that way. but you're actually coming over to a country where you can't even afford eggs. It's just as bad, just in a different way, right? Even then, it's still more better than a lot of these countries. And so people, instead of, doing the paperwork to come over, it takes a long time. It takes years. There's a back line. You got to go to the back of the line. And people are like, they're not willing to do that. How do I know? Because I have family members. My grandfather came over illegally. Now, when he got over here, he fought for his papers and he got his papers. He did things the right way. He worked. He raised his children. He bought homes. He did the right thing. He didn't come over to sell drugs. He didn't come over to commit crime. He didn't do none of that. And he just came over in an era where he was just able just to fucking work. Found himself a good job in the Bay Area and he stuck to it. Got all my deals raised the right way, where they went right into the company, raised his daughters the right way, where they did their thing, and everybody lived. But that's our blood. We come from that blood, that hardworking blood, Mexicanos. So with me, it's a hard issue because I do support a lot of the things that Trump believes in, right? But I don't believe totally into this deportation stuff. But I don't blame just him. I blame America. I blame people, because people try to flip-flop. They try to play both sides. Yeah, man, we need to get all these people that are selling drugs and everything. And they're quick to say, oh, they're all illegal. No, they're not all illegal. Your neighbor could be doing it. You don't know who. Nowadays, everybody and their mama are fucking selling dope or involved in fentanyl or involved in this and that. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Mexican, but that's like the old thing. That's the old thing. Oh, the Mexicans are the ones selling all the drugs, or the Latinos are the ones selling all the drugs, the Hispanics or whatever you want to call them, the raza. The fact is, you can't have your cake and eat it too. The raza is always the ones out there working their ass off too. Any restaurant you pull up to, that's Mexican right there doing their thing. The fields, all the lettuce, the tomato, everything that you eat, that's Mexicans too. So it's like, if you want to get rid of everybody because you're scared, because you think that they're the ones that are selling all the dope in the community, you think they're the ones that are ruining the community. Well, at the same time, they're also the ones feeding the fucking community, because there's not a lot of people that are going to go out in that 100-degree weather and pick cabbages. It just ain't going to happen. Mexican are a hardworking people. Not to say anyone else isn't. There's a lot of hardworking people, but not a lot of people traditionally throughout history want to do these jobs. It's just fucking the way it is, right? So LA is taking a stance. They've decided to say, you know what, fuck this, man. We are going to fight for the people. I get it. But let's break it down. Okay? When you are protesting, you have to have an idea. You have to be united. One force, one show of hand. And that's what you need to fucking do. But of course, when you get a big old gaggle of people, there's a whole bunch of people with different agendas. See, some of those people there right now are there to cause and create chaos. The uglier it looks, because they have an agenda, the uglier it looks. They could spark something off, and something could kick off like that. That's why it reminds me of prison, man. You could be in the prison chow hall, man. Everything's good. One vault to fucking disrespect someone way over there. Next thing you know, you're hitting someone up with a tray over here. That's how quick it goes down. And it's the same thing, especially when you get a bunch of hot-blooded Mexicanos and raza, period. Raza covers from Central America on up, right? When you get a whole bunch of people that are already upset and angry, that have had family members that were deported. And you got to understand, look, I'll say this. Paisas, Mexicanos, and everyone that's been here illegally for years have been getting deported for years. They've been getting deported. This ain't nothing new. When Obama was president, they were getting deported by the fucking masses. We didn't hear about it. It wasn't on the news. They weren't showing it. They were doing it undercover, right? And now it's just in your face. Now you're seeing it. This ICE raids really started about 2-3 weeks prior to Trump getting in office. That's when they really started. That's when they started to kick up dust. And then he came in and implemented what he implemented, and it was already kicking off. But people don't want to recognize that it was kicking off. It's been doing that before he even got elected, right? And so it's like this. When people are united and they're doing the right thing, they'll get the right results. But in this case, you have people that are there just to stir the pot. People that are there to cause chaos, because the more national attention it gains, LA riots. And you notice LA is always the target? Do you notice that? You want to know why? Do you want Gunn to give you some game? You want Gunn to get canceled right now? The haters are like, oh yeah, kill him, right? Well, here, haters world, you might get your opportunity right here, fat ass. Here's the real deal, right? The reason shit's always going down in LA is because LA, the majority of Los Angeles County, that whole area, is raza and blacks. So there's always fucking something going on there. There's always chaos there to eradicate the people, right? Always. Always. The fires, the Rodney King, the riots there, this now, several other issues, right? It's notice how it's always LA. California is a big state. There's Frisco, there's San Jose, there's Fresno, there's San Diego, there's always, but it's always LA. We burn this bitch down, get us pissed to live and die in LA. Pac said it. He was trying to give you a clue, a hint. You know, and that's because where there's the more brown and black, they want to show you that it's more dangerous and it's more, look at how they act. They don't know how to act. They're not human. They don't know, you know what I mean? And then people are like, I don't want to go to LA. They're trying to destroy it. Now, in this case, there's a bunch of brown people fighting for deportation, right? They're saying, stop breaking up families, but you got to break every single situation down to a singular situation. Everything's different. You do have people that came over and took the opportunity, just like you have bad apples from your neighborhood, your barrio, bad family members, bad coworkers. There are individuals that do come over for the wrong reasons. They did come over to sell dope. They did come over to corrupt fucking the neighborhoods. They did come over to use fucking the system illegally. There are some that did that. And then there are some that just came to raise a family. But it's all boils down to one of the same things, and that is it's illegal to cross over without doing it properly. You know, when I did crime, it was like this. And this is the way I look at it, because my tios were all paisas, man. My tios were all, you know, I have a couple that were born in Mexico, a couple that were born here. My grandfather just went back to Mexico and was boning some shit, right? Boom, there it was. And I'll tell you guys right now, the ones that came over illegally, because my grandfather, they were born in Mexico with their mom over there, and then they came over, right? They just slid over. I used to watch them the whole time. They used to drive straight, be real quiet, respectful, just do their thing, because they knew any day could be their last day. They knew that if they got pulled over, voila, you're gone, right? My other tios, they were just kicking it, because they're bumping, cruising low riders and shit. And my tios used to be envious of the other two. Fuck, man, these guys just kick it. We got to be in the cuts, right? Of course. Of course, that's how Mexico feels about Chicanos or Mexican Americans. Kind of the same way. We're all the same, but we got two different opportunities, right? It's just like when you commit a crime, man, and you're on the run. All the homies are kicking out the barbecue, chilling and shit. You got to be in the cuts because you know every day could be your last, right? You've done a crime. You know that you got to go do the time. It's the same thing with the Mexicans. Like you can't forget about it. Like if they come over, Vato and his wife illegally, right? They cross over like, fuck it, we're going to go work. We're going to fucking send money back to our jefa, to the rancho. And this is what the paisas do. Because a lot of them don't want to be here. They don't want to be in America. They don't like it. It's not their home. They want to go home, but there's more opportunity here, or at least there was back before it got all fucked up, right? There was. And so they'd come over, get their money. A lot of them would, you know, eventually they start having children. And so that's why they stay, because their children are in school. Their children get a better opportunity by learning English and Spanish. And this is the way things work out. Okay. But they can never forget there's that nagging thing in the back of their mind. You're illegal. You came over illegally. I hate the word illegal, like a motherfucker. Like he's an alien or space. They even call them aliens. It's crazy, right? The way that how they demoralize people and the type of labels they put on people. I don't like it, but it is what it is. So anyways, but they can never forget, man. Anytime I get pulled over, anytime I have any police interaction, it's all bad. It's all bad. Some of them get fake papers, whatever. It's crazy. Anyways, it's going down in LA. You know, they're rioting. You got gang members becoming involved. You got regular citizens that are small business owners' property being destroyed. You know, they're going at it with the police officers. I seen a clip where a police officer, Black Vato, he ran into a restaurant. They're trying to clean the smoke and the shit out of his eyes. There's smoke grenades going on. There's rocks being thrown. You know, it's going to get more and more dangerous because you have people that literally are in there stirring up conflict. You know, a lot of dudes with these masks on. It's their opportunity to fight the system, to buck the system. It's their opportunity to go out there and do something illegal. People always take a legal situation and turn it illegal. They always find a way to fuck shit up, you know, and say, oh, this is what we believe in. We believe, in our people and in what the harassment that you guys are doing, that we're going to burn all our own shit down. We're going to blow all our own shit up. And we're going to cause a lot of negative attention towards the paisas. Let me tell you what's going to happen. There's a lot of paisas right now that are, there are Mexicanos that are out there. Don't get it twisted. There's hundreds of them out there with the Mexican Americans and whoever else is protesting, right? But there's a fucking lot of paisas that are like, damn, man, I just want to go to work. It's Monday morning. They got to go back to work. They got bills to pay, mouths to feed, children that need to go to school. Right. And it's like, okay, it was cool Saturday. It was Sunday. I said, fuck, I wanted a beer and some menudo. Right. They don't want the negative attention. Instead of people rioting and fighting cops, they need to show some class. See, as raza, we've always had class. That's one thing about us. Class. Show some class and some integrity and some morals. You can't scream and yell and fight cops and do all that and expect them to just finally give up and say, okay, we're going to conform to what you said. It's not the way it fucking works. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. But people have been asking, Gun, where do you stand? Do you stand with the people? Look, I don't believe in protests. I'm not going to be out there in the hot ass fucking, and I'm not going to be out there with a bunch of chaos and get locked up behind some fucking bullshit because a motherfucker does not smart enough to talk it out or to communicate. He'd rather fucking throw rocks and shit. Too old for that. Okay, my rock throwing days are over. But do I agree with people getting snatched up and families getting broken up? No, I don't give a fuck what color you are, what ethnicity you are, none of that. I don't like it. But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of things in life I don't like. I don't like the fact that I had to get up this morning and do this video. I don't like the fact that I'm thirsty as a motherfucker. My mouth's dry right now and I can't fucking get up because I don't like to edit, because I freestyle. There's a lot of things I don't like in life. And this is a serious matter. So no, I don't agree with ICE going into schools and snatching kids up. No, I don't agree with ICE taking our fucking brown people and throwing them wherever or putting people. I don't believe in that. But I also don't believe in people breaking the laws. I also don't believe in people, coming over here to utilize the system. It's broke. The system's broke. We can't even afford eggs. We can't even afford gas. Shit is tore up. Right? I had to break it down for a family member yesterday. It was crazy. Because I have one family member that's all mad because I do the little YouTube. I work. I do my little thing. I make a little bit of money. And I'm able to afford a few different things that other people can't, but I work hard for it, And he works hard all day, man, and can't seem to make ends meet. And he was very jealous. Like, it came out, you think you're fucking bad because you got money? I said, no, I don't think I'm bad because I got money. Just because I went and bought a pool for like all the kids to swim. I went and bought one of those nice pools. And you think you're bad because you got money, huh? That you could do shit like this. When I was just trying to do something for the kids, his kids included. And I said, nah, bro, just, I've been afforded this opportunity and I made the best of it. And now I want to bless us as a collective, as a whole, our family. Nah, you think you're bad and shit. Okay, well, let me pop the pool, throw it on your lawn and get the fuck out of here. There. Mines are going to get theirs. Where you at now? Let's see you struggle and strive for what you believe in. And that's fucking getting your kids in a pool because it's hot. Oh, shit. The fact is, there's always going to be miscommunication and hatred and jealousy and all. It's the way it goes down. At the end of the day, we need to come together as people. Whether you believe in the deportation or you don't, understand we're destroying our own shit. I stand with LA. I stand with the people out there. I stand with let's get it together. I stand with let's communicate, man, and give people an opportunity to sit down and discuss something. Every case is different. But I also stand with the understanding that if you do something illegal, there's going to be repercussions. If I go into that country illegally, I'll probably get fucking deported, then don't do it, man. Do it the right way. I'm just saying, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. And as I watch on the news, shit is getting worse, man. But of course, they're going to show you all the bad shit. You got to be able to have family members down there. I got some in Compton. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? It's fucking hot. That's what's going down. We're going to barbecue today, mijo, but I think they're going to barbecue an INS guy. That's what I think. The gun. Bang, bang.